Alright, so I know I've done this before, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to redo this trilogy again. And that is the the Jurassic Kong trilogy. Basically, what this story is that this is a alternate universe story where it is a Kong Jurassic World crossover, but in here, Kong has been reborn through through cloning from InGen and is now part of the Jurassic World trilogy. And basically, what would it be like if Kong existed in this trilogy? Anyway, so I thought it'd be kind of fun in honor of the upcoming Jurassic World Rebirth movie. I thought it'd be kind of fun to like revisit this series again. So anyway, here we go with the remake of Jurassic World King Kong. So yeah. Now, if you're wondering what kind of Kong we're talking about here, it is stated as the 1933 Kong, but it is more based on the Peter Jackson Kong. But yeah, here we go. So in this story, Kong did die. He was gunned down in 1933, but InGen has worked tirelessly to collect collect DNA of the original Kong, whose body in this continuity was taken and brought to the Museum of Natural History in the Smithsonian, and was there used. Its DNA was harvested and used and taken where InGen could basically harvest this DNA, and they got it. They had the DNA, but the problem was the cloning for an animal as complex as Kong was a little tricky. They were kind of worried of making it John Hammond was worried about making Kong back for Jurassic Park, because here, while it would be easier to make, to fill in the genetic gap rather than with a frog, he could just they could just use ape DNA to use for Kong. Hammond was like, I don't know if I can trust apes are pretty intelligent. Could you imagine a 25 foot tall ape, with a big brain like that? What could happen? Dinosaurs are... He's under the assumption that dinosaurs are dumb. They can be controlled. But he's seen apes in the wild and seen how smart they can become. So he's like, let's put that in the back burner. So InGen did have DNA samples of Kong, but when Masrani took over, they decided in this continuity, we're going to have Kong be part of our Jurassic World. And there's a whole section of Jurassic World called Skull Island, where animals that are similar to the creatures from Skull Island are there, but the main attraction is Kong. Now, the other thing that is kind of important to note is that they made sure to keep Kong and Rexy apart, because Rexy is close to the V-Rexes, in terms of species design. So so Kong and Rexy do not like each other. In fact, there are actually times where in the park, Kong would sit up whenever he hears Rexy roar or something, and he would just beat his chest and roar back. They have this. They're trying to challenge one another for who's king or queen of the island. But yeah, so among other things, like I said, this is the '06 Kong. So when I said there is a Skull Island section, there are a few animals that were cloned. Thankfully, the V-Rexes were not. But there were some animals of the herbivore variety that were cloned. Like the Brontosaurus and a few other herbivores here and there. The Ventrosaurs were also cloned, but they only made 4, just like the Raptors. So, there is that. And they have no V-Rexes because it's it's kind of big, and also, what if there were some thinking here and there. The other thing is that Kong has his own staff. In here, Kong has a woman named Claire Driscoll, and she is the granddaughter of Anne and Jack Driscoll. She's the granddaughter and has always been fascinated by Kong. And Kong in here, this clone Kong, does have a connection to her. He does he's very gentle with her, and even she even makes a point of Kong is very gentle and tame around other keepers. but he's also, he's especially calm around women, which we do see around in ape enclosures. Like, female zookeepers are, work the best with, like, gorillas and other great apes. So Kong in here, despite his massive size, he is very, like, gentle with his zookeepers, especially Claire Driscoll, who's the head of their security. So, yeah. Anyway, so Claire is friend. Not Claire. Why did I say Claire? Claire. I got them mixed up because we have Claire, who is the head of Jurassic Park. Bryce Dallas Howard's character, and this was Rachel. Rachel, that was the character's name. Rachel Driscoll. So Rachel is, close with Kong, but she has kind of noticed that there is a new project going on. She's not privy to this new project that's going to put Jurassic World on the map on a new scale, but she is friends with Owen, and she does kind of talk about, like, hey, so what are you and your kind of girlfriend talking about? Like, what is this huge project? And he's like, I don't fucking know. I'm more concerned about, Hoskins using the raptors for a weapon. And she's like, that's fucking stupid. I hope he doesn't have that plan for the Ventrosaurs either. She drove him off that, like, the idea of using the Ventrosaurs. And even using Kong, like, even Hoskins tries to convince her, like, Kong can be a weapon. And she's like, do you know how fucking stupid you sound right now? He is a 25-foot gorilla, and the original Kong was killed by biplanes. Think on that first. Biplanes. What do you think? But he's like, but he's smart. He can be trained. And Kong just immediately, like, goes up to the enclosure and just glares at Hoskins. She's like, you think you can tell him what to do? So, yeah, Hoskins more concerned about the raptors. So now we come to the part where the Indominus is now been put in its enclosure. And on that day, Kong is, like, agitated. Like, he's just kind of pacing around in his enclosure. And Rachel's just like, I've never seen Kong like this. He's never been this kind of, like, hostile or anything like that. There's something seriously wrong with Kong. Like, I don't... And it started when this new animal, this new project, was brought in. So Kong is just because it's not right. Like, this animal should not exist. It's like something. It's like an aversion. It's like a perversion to nature, and Kong knows it. It's upsetting him. Now Kong is also, like, just angry that day, and then the Indominus breaks out, and Rachel hears about it and everything else, and Owen even says, like, when they're after the events of where the control team tries to capture him and they're all killed by the Indominus, Owen suggests, like, after the chopper idea, he's like, we can send Kong after him. And Rachel goes, you are not sending... Kong doesn't know how to fight that. It's like, he was built to fight monsters bigger than that. So Rachel's, like, putting her foot there. It's like, you're not making... And Claire agrees with Rachel's like, you're not making this into a fucking war zone, and you're not making Kong into a weapon. He's not gonna go fight... he's not gonna go fight the Indominus. And he's like, I feel like he wants to. And sure enough, another breakout happens. And this time it's in Kong's enclosure, because Kong's gotten so mad at this perversion, is that he goes out and... breaks out on his own and is now on a collision course with the Indominus. So Kong actually finds the boys. He finds the kids, and he actually, like, he actually, like, gets in their way to protect them from the Indominus. As they're trying to run from into the waterfall, Kong just jumps out and, like, attacks it. But this Indominus version of the Indominus is a little different. It's a little bigger, because this time around, Wu not only used raptor DNA and a few other things, he used V-Rex DNA. That's one of the reasons why Kong was so angry, because this creature was made from V-Rex. Instead of T-Rex DNA, it was made from V-Rex DNA. So Kong and the Indominus fight. The V-Rex, the Indominus does put a lot of hurt on Kong, and he's forced to flee, but he continues to go on the trail, leading to Claire, Rachel, and Owen to follow in this trail, as the same with Kong, who's also on the hunt for the Indominus. This leads to a massive breakout, continuing with the Vistatosaurs fighting the Raptors. You have some of the other Skull Island monsters and now encountering other creatures, and it's just a big old mess. Like, it is just a big fucking, mess of a situation. And it isn't until throughout the time, Kong tries to battle the Indominus constantly. Like, he's trying to kill it. And in fact, he's actually at the end of the at the end scene where Kong springs out instead of the Mosasaur that helps battle alongside the T-Rex and Blue. It's Kong. So Kong, the Blue, and Rexy are the ones who take down the Indominus. And there's this moment where Rexy and Kong are kind of sizing each other up, but then they're just I'm just too tired and I don't want to do this right now. So Kong leaves into the jungle, and Jurassic World is gone. But now it's being called the New Skull Island, as Kong now reigns over this Skull Island. So there you go. But we're not done. There's still the matter of, Jurassic Kong Fallen Kingdom. So if this video does well, I'll do a remake of that. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.